It's not something you want because it's not in your life. In some way, it's already yours in your quantum field, which is why you want it so badly. Everything changes because of this one idea. Would you believe me if I told you that your deepest desires are not signs of what you lack, but rather sounds from your future? Not just a wish, but a time in the past. Take a moment to just feel that. Whether it's love, money, a sense of purpose, or good health, the thing you want isn't calling to you. It's you calling. It's calling from a part of you that already does, breathes, and lives it. Still, that version of you seems so far away, doesn't it? Like a life that exists in parallel that you can almost touch. It's close enough to make your heart hurt, but not close enough to hold. Almost everyone gets stuck in this paradox. We get caught up in the false idea that we are separate. Take a moment to subscribe before we go any further. This is your first conscious act of alignment. It sends an energetic message to the universe that you are ready to receive the frequencies that will help you remember who you are. You really want it, but the want itself turns into a wall. I'll show you why. Click the like button right away if this speaks to you. Let that one click be a physical sign that you agree with the field. You can use it to solidify your new knowledge and let it know that you're ready to move from the waiting frequency to the receiving frequency. If you already feel that this is true, please share this video. To share this transmission, you do more than just send a link. You boost this frequency. If someone in your field is also ready to wake up, you are sending them a wave of this power. When desire comes from a place of being whole, it pulls you in. It's a map. It helps change times. But desire stays the same when it's filled with the energy of lack. Your reality gets smashed into the frequency of "I don't have it." Most people don't understand that the field, which is the quantum source of all possibilities, doesn't do what you want it to do. People like you can use it. Your coherence, your embodiment, and your energetic signature are what make it react. So your message to the universe isn't clear when your wanting is mixed with resistance and doubt. It's impossible for the wave of possibility to turn into the reality you want, because you are still vibrating as the person who is waiting and not the person who is receiving. This isn't just religious writing, it has to do with physics. Heisenberg showed us that all we have to do is watch something happen to change what happens. But what do you see when you're stuck in desire? Thinking about a future you haven't lived yet and calling it absence is like looking at your future self through the lens of not yet. This makes the quantum collapse that makes your future self real happen later. You were never taught this. Wanting something is not a way to get it. It's a signal to go back to something. It's going back to a self you already are in a time when it's already over, and the more you try to get it, the stronger the illusion that you don't have it yet. Take a look. When you really want love, your body is vibrating with the feeling of not being connected. When you worry too much about money, your heart beats to the beat of lack. When you want to be free, the pressure of feeling trapped makes you breathe faster. So even though your mind is screaming, yes, your energy field is quietly saying no. In the quantum universe, the field doesn't pay attention to your thoughts. It only pays attention to your frequency. Few people are brave enough to face this hard truth. The more you want something, the more proof you find that you don't have it. This is how lack works in the background. When you check to see if it's arrived, you break a reality that it hasn't yet. You keep telling yourself that it's not natural for you every time you try to control when and how. Every time you picture something but still have doubts, you mess up the field. This is the quantum key. The real question is not, how do I get what I want? But why am I still vibrating as the version of me who doesn't already have it? Because once you understand this, you can make things that look like magic to other people. Say to yourself in the comments below, I am releasing the loop of lack. Let writing these words send a conscious message to your nervous system that you are ready to break this pattern. You are saying that you will stop making proof that you don't have. Already done is becoming your new frequency because you are making room for it. But let's look further. What if the things you wanted weren't really yours? What if they are signals that are built into the field? Invitations already loaded to grow into the next version of yourself? What if wanting wasn't a flaw, but a message from the future? The pain you feel isn't because it's gone. You are in pain because you are not aligned with the part of you that already has it. This changes the way we feel about our longing. Now, you can't push down your desire, but you shouldn't just follow it without question either. Want turns into a doorway. This turns into a vibrational transmission. It's not your job to go after it. It's your job to tune in. How can you tune in to something you can't see yet? That's the lovely puzzle your soul came to figure out. Because what you do isn't where the answer is. It's inside of being. This is where most teachings about manifestation fail. The scripts, rituals, and vision boards are all about strategy. It's not like the quantum field can read your words on a page, though. The coherence of your thoughts, feelings, and actions is what it responds to. The wave doesn't break apart if even one of them is out of sync. You don't draw your future to you. You pay attention to it. But hold on. Why can't you feel it yet if it's already done? Why does it still look so far away? Why does wanting it hurt so much? Because your nervous system is stuck on a memory. This is not safe is written in code. This can't happen. I don't want this. And that memory, which most people don't even know they have, is bringing together two different times. A timeline that doesn't change. An order of time where want is just a loop. A never-ending loop. A circle of hope. A loop of almost hits. And until that memory is rewritten in your body and energy, you will keep going around the life you have now and only catch a glimpse of the one you want. What should I do now? The loop is broken. We let go of the chase and start to remember. You already have everything you want, so that person is not out there. It's written in your field. It's speaking to you through your wants. It's hidden in your wants. It's not waiting to be called, but to be picked. If this truth hits home for you, say in the comments, I stop chasing and I start choosing. This statement should be your center. Feel the change from striving to aligning as you type these words. You are no longer alone with your past. You are building your future by remembering who you came here to be. Memory isn't quite right. Everyone tells us that it goes from the past to the present in a straight line, like a river. But that's only true if you think the mind is a storage device and not an antenna, which is what it really is. Because strange things begin to happen when the noise is turned down for a long time. It's not about what has been that you start to get impressions, ideas, and flashes of what you want to be. Things that happen to you feel very familiar even though you've never been through them. You feel things even when there's no story. The pictures you see don't make sense, even though it hasn't happened yet. Why does a certain picture of success feel so real? Why do some futures feel like they've already happened? That's because your brain remembers more than just the past. It also remembers what will happen. I'm not using that as a figure of speech. I mean in a neurological way. According to new research in neuroscience, The brain is basically a machine for making predictions. This is especially true when it comes to neuroplasticity and predictive coding. Real life isn't just seen by it passively, it builds it up itself. Every thought, feeling, and perception you have is a projection based on what you already know. But here's the catch. The brain changes its model when a vision of the future takes over your thoughts and feelings, and when you think about it enough times and with enough emotion. It starts to think of that imagined future as something from the past. The body starts to follow once the future is remembered. This idea of remembering your future might have made you feel something, like this video. Let that click be an energetic yes to your nervous system. It will set off the neural pathways that bring these memories from the future back into the present. It doesn't matter to your nervous system if something is real or not. It only cares that the signal stays the same. That's why people can be hurt by trauma they don't remember or heal from things they haven't even experienced yet. The body keeps track of the score, but it doesn't ask for the date. This is what Dr. Joe Dispenza calls neurochemical conditioning. Your brain makes it feel like an event has already happened when you think about it enough and with enough emotion. That's more than just thinking positively. That's what neural installation is. Once it's there, your body will only be open to experiences that match that inner mark. From the field of infinite potential, it changes what you see, what you do, what you attract, and what you let go of. But it only works when you feel it. Visualization on its own is not very strong. It's a sketch without color and a map without a place to go. If you want to remember the future, you have to feel it as strongly as you feel the past. That success must be beating through your heart. When you breathe in, you should feel like the love has already come. You need to stand up straighter, as if you are already safe, rich, and alive. If you don't add any emotion, your brain labels your vision as fantasy. But if you add emotion, especially high-level emotions like gratitude, joy, or awe, the brain changes the label from imagine to remember. This is where modern science starts to sound a lot like old beliefs. Mystics have always said that time isn't a straight line, that the soul lives beyond time, and that your future self doesn't live ahead of you, but with you, but at a different frequency. And when your brain starts to connect with that version of yourself, you become connected to it. Particles that remain connected through space and time are said to be quantum entangled in physics. If you change one, the other one responds right away. When it comes to consciousness, the same rule applies. When your feelings, thoughts, and actions are in line with a certain future, you become connected to the part of you that is already living that future. When you get caught up in something, your current reality starts to change. At first, quietly and then clearly. Random events turn into patterns. Chances come up without any work. People move around you. Not because you were lucky, but because the field of your past no longer matches your vibration. There is a catch, though. This is where most people mess up the process. Even if the emotions are good, the body doesn't like feeling them for the first time. You've been taught to feel let down, stressed, or struggling for years or even decades. When you feel these things, they become your home. Everything else, even happiness, feels unsafe when compared to that emotional base. That's why it's simpler to fall back into fear than to stay thankful. The nervous system wants to know things, not always what is true. That's why your body fights when you try to store a memory of plenty, love, or freedom in the future. It gets tighter. It has doubts. It tries to pull you back to the painful experiences you've had in the past. You will think it's not working if you are not aware of this resistance. You are going to end the practice. You're going to let the doubt break the wave. You'll give up on the future before it can merge with the present. But here is something that most people don't know. There's no need to worry if you run into resistance. It's working if it feels resistance. As soon as you choose a new emotional reality, your old self is in danger of dying. The ego, which is a mental structure based on safety, identity, and control, will fight to hold on to what it knows. It will say in a soft voice, "This isn't really you." It will say, "This is not possible." It will get smarter, remember things, and even use your spiritual practice against you. But none of that is true. It's just noise. That noise is feedback from a frequency that is going away. You're not your past. You are the field of consciousness that decides what it will do next. The more often you add the memory of your future self, the stronger it becomes over the neurochemical power of your past. Your mind changes so that you expect miracles. You teach your nervous system to trust pleasure again. In coherence, you move your body. The key is coherence. Your field becomes strong enough to turn probabilities into form when your heart and brain are in a coherent state, where their vibrational harmony is complete. This is what quantum creation is really about. In a future that is whispering back to you through the veil, don't wish or hope, but remember who you already are. Now the only question is, will you keep living the history that was set as default, or will you become the living memory of what's already waiting? Say this in the comments to help you choose the memory of your future. I am the living memory of my future. Put this sentence into your brain as your first step toward neural installation. Feel what that version of you is really like as you write it. There is more to what you are doing than just typing words. You are blocking out the noise of the past and tuning your body to the frequency of what is already yours. You are turning a reality into a flat one right now, not through strategy or hard work, but through something much stronger, what you notice. And the question is, what are you really seeing? Since you can't see the future you want if your mind is on things that aren't there, your heart is on things that haven't happened, and your energy is on things that might go wrong. You are making the version you fear stronger. No matter what you want, the quantum field will follow your attention. The observer effect shows that just watching a system changes what happens with it in the world of quantum physics. Until they are seen, particles act like waves of pure potential that have no shape. After that, they choose a position. When things fall apart, something new is made. Most people also miss this. Because you are always looking at something, you are always breaking something down. Nothing is wrong with manifestation, it just doesn't work. The thing is, it works great, but not always the way you want it to. It's possible to observe everything, every thought, every feeling, and every inner story. And most people are trained to notice lack without even realizing it. They keep an eye on what's not working. They look into why it hasn't happened yet. They can't stop thinking about the signs, the methods, and the time. They see their present reality as proof of what will happen in the future, instead of seeing it as a holdover from their past vibration. This is the trick. Being an observer is not possible when you wait for reality to let you believe. You are now being watched. You end up reacting, passively going along with a timeline that you didn't choose. The field comes back. Neville Goddard said it very clearly. To be aware of being poor while praying for wealth is to be rewarded with that which you are aware of being. To put it another way, You can't collapse abundance while looking at scarcity. When your mind is filled with the pain of being alone, you can't make a timeline of love. Don't lie about your attention, and it tells the field how to set itself up. Like this transmission, if you're ready to take back your power as the real observer. The click you heard was a conscious quantum instruction. This will help you find your true center and let the universe know that you are now collapsing the reality you want, not the one you were taught to fear. In reality, you've likely been squishing the wrong reality for years. It's not that you don't have power. You just didn't know how to use it. Your attention has been taken over by fear, old stories, and ways of staying alive that have been passed down from generation to generation. These aren't just habits of the mind. There are quantum instructions in them. They say to the field, "This is what I know. This is what I feel like. This is home." What if home is out of date, though? What if the self you've been talking about isn't the one you're becoming, but the one you want to get away from? That's the problem for the observer. You make your current situation stronger the more you fight it. Resistance is not a neutral thing. It's a strong way to notice things. And each time you try to change what is, you make it worse. It's not because the universe is mean. It's just that the field is small. It goes with your signal, not your slogans. As soon as you send the signal, "I am not there yet," the field sends you more proof that you are not there. How are you going to change this? Not by being in charge of what happens. Not by keeping track of your progress all the time. You change it by changing who is looking at it. You do not need to focus more. You need to become the kind of person who sees what they want as already done. You have to move into the vibration of course. The inner posture that it has to happen. Because your entire being is vibrating in coherence with that outcome, not because you said the right affirmations. The secret that most people miss is coherence. Your field is coherent when your mind and heart are in sync, when your feelings and thoughts are in line with each other, and when your feelings and actions are in line with each other. A coherent field is exact. It doesn't send two different messages. It doesn't bring chaos down. It makes things clear. And being clear is what shapes the quantum soup of possibilities into a timeline that fits your truth. But here's the catch. Clarity does not mean certainty. It's giving up. Being willing to be so in tune with your future self that you don't need proof from other people is what it means. You show it. The outside world has no choice but to change how it works around you because your vibration is so stable and embodied. But the mind will fight back. It will show you your past, your bank account, your relationships, and your body and say, "See? It doesn't work. That's the test. That's the finish line. It's your old self. Please pay attention one more time." It can stay alive as long as it can get you to notice lack one more time. You're not here to live out your old life, though. You are here to carefully, consciously, and completely break it down. If this message speaks to you, make a statement about your new identity in the comments below. I am the proof. This is your promise to be quantum faithful. There is no longer any need for evidence to be evidence. You are telling yourself and the field this. Your steady vibration as a body is all that is needed as proof. You can't force time to change. They change how faithful they are. The more you stay true to the future version of yourself, the more that version starts to show up in your field. At first, you'll notice small things. A different thought. A new emotional starting point. People will treat you differently, but not because they've changed. It's because of changes in your field. This is the plan for your field. Reality is probabilistic, not fixed, according to quantum physics. There are an infinite number of versions of you at all times. Getting your attention is the key. Your emotional charge is what makes it stronger. Your belief is what keeps you steady. When you put those things together, you don't just see a new reality, you turn into it. The last part is often the hardest, though. You have to let go of the need to see it before you can feel it. When you can feel something without seeing it, you know the timeline has already broken apart. The body tells the truth. You can write the perfect affirmations, see your dream life very clearly, and say your intentions every day. You can't send the future out into the world, though, if your nervous system is still set up for the past. Fear is being spread by you. The quantum field also doesn't care about your goals. Your embodiment is a factor. Feel like it's already done is something you've heard before. Truth be told, this isn't about pretending. This isn't about pretending to be grateful or smile to trick the universe. This is about taking on the vibrations of the future you want to live in. It's not enough to think or wish it. You have to live it, emotionally, energetically, and biologically, before there is any proof. This is the most important thing that God has ever done. To put your feelings ahead of what's happening in your body. It means to be in a state of love before the love comes. To feel rich before the money comes in. To walk like you're free even though the cage looks like it's still locked. Don't be fooled by this. It's called quantum alignment. Press like if you're ready to move on from this quantum alignment. Let it be a physical message to your body that wakes up the cells that store your future memories. You're telling your body it can become this new reality even before you see it. From neuroscience, we can learn the following. The body can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. If you imagine something happening in the future with enough emotion, your brain will start to remember it. The same chemical signals are sent to your body. The beat of your heart changes. Your field gets adjusted again. Now you're not just thinking about the new timetable, it's inside you. The field starts to bend when your inner world becomes more real than the outside world. In quantum mechanics, reality is not a fixed thing. It involves taking part. What's going on around you doesn't affect how you feel inside. It makes them. The field isn't responding to what's going on with you. The signal you send makes it do something. And the clearest message you can send is that you are already there. Not having to. Not holding out. Being. Okay, here's the catch. It's possible that your body has been trained to live in a certain frequency for decades. Stress, alertness, and not being enough. These habits are real, not just in your head. They are physical. They are kept in your muscles, your breath, and the way you stand and sit. When you breathe deeper, soften your chest, lift your chin, and open your heart. You are becoming more like the new. The old frequency will fight this. It will say in a low voice, "You're lying." It will try to pull you back into the seriousness of your old life. And then you have to make a choice. Because this is the truth. When a new reality comes along, you don't just step into it. You get there before it does. When you cross the energetic line in the unseen, the scene comes after. We're not just wishing for this. It's called electromagnetic causality. The strongest magnetic field in your body comes from your heart. Your heart experiences coherence when you experience strong emotions like gratitude, joy, or compassion. And your brain follows your heart when it's in sync. As they start to work together, They make a single, measurable field around your body. In that state, your effect on the quantum field gets much stronger. That being said, coherence takes work. It's not just a one-time picture. It's a daily commitment to becoming the kind of person who doesn't need to force things to happen, because you are the result. We call this embodiment. The moment when the future you want seems so normal and normal to you that your body stops doubting it. Your cells start writing the code for it. Your actions are perfectly in sync. You talk in a different way. You walk in a different way. How people react to you changes. Why? Because you're not showing that you want something anymore. You are pointing out a fact. That's the change. It's also very subtle, almost impossible to notice at first. You might feel a little lighter when you wake up. Some of your old triggers may not make you feel the same way. There may be peace where there used to be war. The field then starts to reflect you back. Ego doesn't like peace, though. It needs drama, power, and proof. So your mind might try to get smaller even as your field gets bigger. Perhaps it wants to know where it is. Why hasn't it shown up yet? And that voice will make the wave fall back into uncertainty if you listen to it. Instead, you take a moment. You take deep breaths. Again, you go back to the embodiment. If I can feel it now, I don't need it to come, is something you tell yourself. In a strange way, it moves toward you at that very moment. Not because you were after it, but because you were drawn to it. This is why the hardest workers aren't always the most powerful creators. They are the ones who feel like they know their future the best. For them, it's not a dream. It's a thought. A frequency they've been to before in their sleep, in meditation, or in their dreams. Our bodies remember. So ask yourself, what would it be like to already be living the life you want? Which part of your body feels that way? How do you hold yourself? In what tone do you talk? What choices seem right from that point of view? Feel this way? Then make it your home. Every day, go there. Take a deep breath in. Use it to walk in. At least until you realize that you're no longer just a timeline. You've turned into it. For those of you who can feel the change right now, write in the comments, "This feeling is my new home." In this way, you can arrive spiritually and energetically. As you type this, let your breath fill you with the feeling of that reality you want. For that frequency, you are no longer just a visitor. You are moving in for good. You are it. Declare to yourself, not to the world, but to the field, I am already living it. Let it get into your cells, your choices, and the day after that. Because once you claim it inside, the outside world has to change. Not by magic, but because of how well quantum mechanics works. Thirst is a sign. The sound is a frequency spike. Your higher self is sending you this flare to show you what's possible and what's already true in a different vibrational reality. But desire shouldn't last. This isn't meant to be a permanent state. This is just a messenger, not a house. When you hold on to desire for too long, it goes bad. If you let it, it turns into a pattern of feelings that says, "This isn't me yet." That's where most of us get stuck. In the circle, the quantum loop. It starts out innocently. A spark of an idea comes to you. You can see into the future. A new frequency tastes good to you, and all of a sudden your whole body lights up. In resonance you are. You're in sync. You're calling it in. After that, you begin to wait. While you wait, people will ask you questions. When you ask questions, you have to check. You'll notice that it's not here yet when you check. This is the start of the slow collapse. You keep going back to the identity that made the desire in the first place, instead of the identity that makes it come true. You begin to see reality again through the eyes of the seeker instead of the creator. This loop keeps going on its own. You want something, picture it, have doubts, wait, and then reinforce. Your nervous system gets used to the difference between who you are and who you're becoming the longer you stay in this cycle. As time goes on, it becomes normal to be almost there, to always be getting ready, to live in the space of almost. But getting ready doesn't change the quantum field. It reacts to being there. As soon as you no longer need the desire because you are now the desire itself, it responds. That's where things start to change. That's when desire turns into identity. That's when the longing turns into the peace of knowing. You're not detached in apathy. You've stepped into a coherence that is so deep and stable that the desire has served its purpose. It took you to the vibration of your next self. Just like this video, if you're ready to leave the crowd and become someone new. The act you did should be your declaration. You are turning on the steady frequency of arrival and getting rid of the old, tired energy of wanting for good. You no longer need the desire once you get there. Now you're what you used to want. This is when time folds. Now is the time to stop imagining what will happen in the future and start speaking from the future, right now, in every breath. The illusion of delay goes away. No longer getting signals of someday, the field changes to already. The timeline has nothing left to fight because you are no longer chasing. It falls down in a quiet, beautiful, and inevitable way. But there's a risk. The ego doesn't like it when its identity changes without its permission. It will pretend to be spiritual and whisper that you're crazy, that you're bypassing, and that you forgot to do the work. To keep the ego busy, it will try to reconnect you with the desire, to get you to want again. It gives it something to fix, make better, or show up. On the other hand, identity is getting there. And getting there is scary for the part of you that loves the journey of becoming. So you need to be careful. Watch out for times when the desire comes back. Not as an idea, but as something to take your mind off of things. When the loop starts up again, you must watch it without judging it, just being aware. Because there isn't much of a loop. It doesn't scream. It talks softly. Please check again is written on it. It tells you, visualize it again just in case. This message says you're not doing enough. But how hard you try doesn't tell you if you're enough. Your frequency tells us how much it is. And once your frequency settles in the area of already having, you don't need to do anything else. This is the power of embodiment. That's the end of the loop. You no longer look at reality through the lens of what you want. You move through it like a match. You don't choose based on what will get me there, but on what fits with who I am now. Everything changes now, because your choices no longer mean that you are separating. Your speech stops going over the weight again. When you talk to yourself, you no longer say, when it comes. You act like you have it. And when you do that, the universe perfectly reflects that back to you. Right now, there is a quantum shift from seeker to source. You stop sending out the energy of I want and start sending out the energy of I am. No longer do you argue with life, you work together with it. From prayer to being present, from longing to landing, you go. And in this area of identity, no one can deny who you are. It's felt by many. Chances can feel it. It's felt in the field. Who you are is the most powerful spell you can use. It doesn't ask, it says so. And once it's said, everything else works around it. Because of this, Your deepest wants are not goals. Inviting people to come, they look like plans. There is already a version of you with those coordinates, and when you become that version of yourself, you no longer need to desire. Not because you've given up, but because you've become part of the group. The signal is no longer being sent out into the world, it's sending out waves. No longer is the field told what to bring. It shows what kind of person you are. And the field always shows what kind of person you are. Feel free to share this video if it helped you shift. Be a source of this clarity for other people. When you send this energy out into the world, you create a strong field of resonance that brings more high-frequency experiences and souls who are like you into your life. Do you want to make this your last shift? If so, let us know in the comments. I am the source. This should be the end of the loop. It is not a wish to say this. It is a fact. It's time to move from asking to being as you write this. There is no longer a seeker in you negotiating with the universe. You are the source, and now the field is coming together around you. The future is not a place you get to. A frequency is what it is. It doesn't show up on time. It shows up when things are lined up right. Everything changes when you stop trying to find it, bring it to you, or make it happen and start remembering it. It's not a metaphor to remember your future, and it's a vibrational fact. In the past, you have already lived the life you want. You've been there, met those people, and touched that reality before. Not in this timeline, but in the quantum field of infinite timelines, where every possible self is already there, encoded and waiting for your consciousness to connect with it. That's why your desire seems so clear, personal, and inescapable. It's not by chance. It's not a dream. There is a resonance. You're being pulled from the person you've already become. And it's not your job to make that life up. It's your job to show that it's real to them through your feelings. To walk as if they've already been there, not as if they're making their way there. These changes happen when creation is based on time and embodiment is based on the field. You stop using outside signs to judge your progress. When there is coherence, time doesn't matter. So you stop asking, how long will it take? You already have it if you can feel it now. Don't chase it if you don't feel it right now. It will only push it away. What does it mean to live by remembering what will happen? It means that your energy comes before your proof. It means that you feel calm before the problem is solved. You're sure of yourself before the way is clear. Before the deal goes through, you can feel the abundance. Not to show off to the universe, but because your nervous system has believed it so many times that it no longer has any doubts. There's nothing left for you to prove. You're not trying to change into anything anymore. You are only being true to the version of yourself that is already there. A reality starts to form around you that matches the frequency you've stabilized as a result of that loyalty and unwavering coherence. Not by chance. Not by chance. That is, by quantum law. You can't get what you want from the field. It shows what kind of person you are. This is why hard work alone can never make changes that last. You can work hard from the vibration of not enough all you want, but the same things will keep happening. You can pray very hard, but the wave will never break. You can picture things over and over again and still be afraid. Because frequency is how we talk about the real world, and you can only speak it well if you feel it. This is why doing more is not your best work. The key is to remember better. You should remember the part of you that already knows, chose, and became. You can feel their breath in your lungs. Feel how calm they are in your chest. Feel how clear they make your choices. And walk with that thought in mind. Not out of faith, but because it's who they are. In the quantum field, the only thing that matters is who you are right now. You're not making plans for the future. It's becoming a part of your now as you remember it. You become the field if you can hold that vibration even when your 3D world tries to tell you otherwise. You're not responding to life anymore. Coherence, not control, is how you plan it out. This is the new way of making things. At this point, your reality starts to match what your soul has known all along. This is where manifestation turns into movement, desire into data, and a thought into a timeline. Now take a break. Get to know your field. Not the one everyone told you to go after. Not the one you were scared of and thought you would get. Your higher self has been waiting for you to take back that one. It's already here. You don't have to wait for another day, another proof, or another sign. You're living it already. As you become more stable in what you know, the world will reflect it back to you faster. You can stay in this field of coherence and get more transmissions to help you on your journey if you subscribe to this channel. Every day, make it a point to activate this energy and stay in tune with the frequency of the version of you that has already arrived. If this message activated something in you, even just a spark, then you're ready to go deeper. Theory to embodiment. Going from information to change. From remembering to giving off energy. This is the main reason we wrote the book, Awaken Your Quantum Power. It's not just a book. You will get powerful quantum teachings, guided methods, and a useful workbook that will help you apply everything you learn in your daily life. The link is in the pinned comment. This isn't for people who are just interested. It's for people who are ready to destroy their next reality. You already have it. Now choose it